สวัสดีค่ะยินดีต้อนรับทุกท่านนะคะเข้าสู่บรรยากาศงานวันที่2ของ Startup Thailand and Digital Thailand 2016 ค่ะสำหรับในการจัดงานในวันนี้นะคะเราเดินทางกันมาเพื่อสร้างแรงบันดาลใจให้สำหรับเหล่าสตาร์ทอัพนะคะนักรบทุกท่านจะได้ติดอาวุธรวมถึงเพิ่มศักยภาพสตาร์ทอัพของท่านด้วยตัวท่านเองนะคะวันนี้แน่นอนค่ะว่าอัดแน่นด้วยสาระและเนื้อหามากมายที่เหล่าสตาร์ทอัพไม่ควรพลาดค่ะสำหรับการจัดงานในวันนี้เช่นเคยนะคะเราจะมีการอัปเดตข้อมูลที่ทุกคนจะต้องเตรียมพร้อมในการติดอาวุธให้กับสตาร์ทอัพของท่านแต่สำหรับหัวข้อแรกในวันนี้เพื่อเป็นการเปิดเวทีนี้นะคะเราจะนำทุกท่านค่ะไปพบกับผู้เชี่ยวชาญหนึ่งท่านที่ต้องบอกว่าวันนี้เราได้รับเกียรติจากท่านนี้นะคะที่จะมาร่วมพูดคุยกันกับทุกท่านกับ Keynote Speech ในหัวข้อ Grooming Entrepreneurial Culture ค่ะที่จะมาสร้างแรงบันดาลใจให้สำหรับเหล่าสตาร์ทอัพนะคะเพราะว่าท่านนี้ค่ะเป็น President Global Entrepreneurship Thailand โดยมีเครือข่ายของผู้ประกอบการทำธุรกิจของเหล่าสตาร์ทอัพต้องบอกว่าเป็นเครือข่ายที่ใหญ่ที่สุดในโลกโดยมีเน็ตเวิร์กกว่า160ประเทศทั่วโลกนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นแล้วติดตามกันได้ค่ะสำหรับหัวข้อแรกในวันนี้กับ Keynote Speech on Grooming Entrepreneurial Culture ค่ะ Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome you to the Day 2 of Startup Thailand and Digital Thailand 2016. Absolutely. To kick off this morning's session, we are pleased to have Mr. Steve Cheah, President Global Entrepreneurship Thailand, come and join with us upon this stage and deliver the keynote speech on grooming entrepreneurial culture. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming on stage Mr. Steve Cheah.
Good morning, everyone. Sawadee krab. Nice to see all of you. Well, today I'm going to talk about a subject you heard about many, many times. But I'm going to ask you to consider a couple of perspectives what entrepreneurship is about. Okay? Now, what do you know about entrepreneurship? Anyone to comment on that? What's an entrepreneur? I want to start by telling you this. Many people think that entrepreneurship is about starting a business. Now, while it is true that most business people are entrepreneurs, but not all entrepreneurs are business people. You understand that? Because we have entrepreneurial mindset. Entrepreneurship is not about a person, it's about a certain mindset, a way you think, and a way you approach situations. So if you work in a company and you have an entrepreneurial mindset, that's entrepreneurship. But if you want to start a business, you must have an entrepreneurial mindset because you need to do something different. So first thing first is to understand that all businesses or all business people are entrepreneurs, but not all entrepreneurs are businessmen. They can be scientists, they can be corporate people. There's a whole world emerging now about social entrepreneurship. In business, we call them entrepreneurship. They don't start their own business, they work in a company, but they think like an entrepreneur. And within the organization, they have an entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, let's look at the definition, what the word entrepreneur means. It actually is coined from the French word, which means to undertake or try. Okay? So what you want to do is, if you look at the definition in that, anyone who tries something or to undertake a venture, this is the original word of what entrepreneurship means. Okay? So if you look at it, the common definition of an entrepreneur is someone who establishes a new entity. Basically, they establish a new business, and where they offer a new or existing product or services to the market. This is what entrepreneurship basically, to most of us, that's what we understand. But think beyond that now, okay? Do you know, are you aware that of the entrepreneurship and startup movement that's happening around the world? For the last decade, there's been so much development in entrepreneurship development around the world. You're seeing startups, you're seeing cluster, you're seeing government changing policies for entrepreneurship. So have you wondered why suddenly there's a huge rush towards understanding entrepreneurship? Now there's an organization called GEN, or Global Entrepreneurship Network. Now this is a network of organizations that are building and supporting entrepreneurship and startup around the world. It is in 160 countries now, and its objective is basically working with all these organizations is to help promote the understanding and promote entrepreneurship as a way of life to more people. Okay, the GEN network is a year-round platform. They offer a couple of programs, initiatives, and the whole idea is they want to create one global entrepreneurship ecosystem. What does that mean? It means that everyone around the world can work or become entrepreneurs or work towards being a more successful entrepreneurs under united or common understanding, how they can do it, which makes it easier. So this is what they want to achieve. GEN basically helps people in more than 160 countries to unleash their ideas and to turn their ideas and turn their dreams or ventures into real businesses. So they work from the idea creation, they work with developing ideas, they work with incubators, they work with accelerators, and the whole idea is to, accelerate innovation and to strengthen the economic stability of the world. The world needs more entrepreneurs because I will show to you later why entrepreneurship is such an important thing in today's world. The GEN network is supported by many, many global leaders. So I think the main thing is that why do the world leaders want to support entrepreneurship? There are many reasons behind that. But the main thing is that they see world peace, improves living standards, and basically better understanding between countries and communication and so on being the key. And entrepreneurship is very, very much part of this. Okay, I'm going to go and play a video by President Obama. He's going to say something about entrepreneurship.
Everywhere I go across America and around the world, I hear from people, especially young people, who are ready to start something of their own, to lift up people's lives and shape their own destinies. That's entrepreneurship, that spark of prosperity that creates new jobs and new businesses, new ways to deliver basic services, and new ways of seeing the world. That's why, since 2010, the Global Entrepreneurship Summit has brought together the best innovators, thinkers, social entrepreneurs, and investors to a different region of the world, from the United States to sub-Saharan Africa. And I've seen firsthand what a difference it can make for entrepreneurs, especially for women and people from marginalized communities, to connect with each other and get feedback on their ideas, to build the networks that can help turn their dream for a business or program or app into reality. This week, innovators around the world are marking Global Entrepreneurship Week. I'm calling on the private sector, foundations, investors, and universities to help us increase opportunities for all entrepreneurs, no matter who they are, where they're from, or what they look like. And I'm pleased to announce that next year, the United States will once again host the Global Entrepreneurship Summit, this time in the birthplace of modern innovation, Silicon Valley. Visit GES2016.org to learn more. We look forward to welcoming people from all corners of the globe, united in our shared belief that with drive, passion, and ingenuity, we can truly change the world. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you in Silicon Valley.
That was last year's announcement. GES, the Global Entrepreneurship Summit, happened in June this year. Some of our startups from Thailand actually went there, and even Kun Krating, I think he went and speak at the event. So this is a yearly event that's part of the Global Entrepreneurship Network. Now, let me just explain a little bit more about our mission. the Global Entrepreneurship Network, we want to create more entrepreneurs. Okay? We want to get people to have more entrepreneurial mindset. Okay? We want people to start launching startups. It doesn't matter if you fail, because a lot of businessmen who are very successful now have failed at some time of their lives. But the experience, learning from the failure, the success of doing startups and starting new business is the key for a better tomorrow. So we want to encourage people to basically launch startups, and basically to understand that entrepreneurs is a very essential part of everyday life. So remember, entrepreneurship is not only about the person. The entrepreneur is the person, but entrepreneurship is more about the mindset. So I want you to start thinking about entrepreneurship more as a mindset, more as an attitude, but entrepreneur as a person, okay? The other thing we want to do as a mission is that we want to increase the number of the understanding between traditional elements and old elements, a startup community. Because not too many years ago, 10, 20 years ago, if you graduate, many years ago, you have no options but to work for big companies. The big companies control everything. But we have seen many big companies starting to realize that, their business cannot continue because you have new startup that may be worth nothing today. I mean, look at Facebook. They started from a garage, and today they are $1 billion. Look like Jack Ma. There are many, many examples of how started with a great idea, and this idea addressed an issue for community. When you address an issue of community, it doesn't matter you're a big corporate or a small company or nobody, but that idea, if you do it and you bring it on with passion, can change the world. Okay? There used to be a time that, that you had to be born in a very privileged family, or you got money, or you're backing, whatever, before you can actually go up to the world in terms of business. But today, no. Anyone with a great idea, with a lot of passion, has proven that they can go beyond, what community or society puts the limit on you. It's a mental limit, so go beyond that. Now, I want to just share about the Gen universe. The Gen universe means, under Gen, what are the different factors? If you see there on the top, we got inspiration. Every year, we run a global entrepreneurship week. It's just like a birthday for entrepreneurship. But one day is not enough. They used to take a week. So this year, from the I think it's the 14th to the 20th of November, 160 countries, everyone will be putting on events on entrepreneurship. Okay? It can be a small 5 people getting together, or a big conference with 5,000 people. It doesn't matter. And what happened is that if everyone's doing a lot of entrepreneurial activities around the world, it creates a movement. It creates an impact. It inspires people to say, hey, there's something happening around the world. Every year, Global Entrepreneurship Week reaches about 500 million people. There are about 35,000 events happening at the same week in 160 countries. It's a huge event. And you as students from universities, or you as entrepreneurs or small businesses, what you could do, you can go to the website and find out more about this. And if you put on an event, you can register and be part of this global movement. You remember, there are times we have Earth Day where they ask people, if you switch up your light for half an hour, every night you could save so much energy around the world. If everyone does that, the impact is great. The global entrepreneurship, it's about creating an impact, and everyone can be part of it. Okay, there are 5 areas that we look into. If I were to go back into the area, you can see on the left, we have global forum events, we have research policy, we have finding founders with competition, and programs. So the areas that we focus on is to celebrate entrepreneurship, which is the Global Entrepreneurship Week. A lot of celebration, so people know what's going on. The second is support. We support by giving them research, details, and so on. We provide international competition, which is to compete. We provide understanding in terms of research and so on, and we connect people. So remember, this is the 5 areas. I'm just going to briefly show you what it's all about. So to celebrate, our efforts is to promote a more entrepreneurial culture around the world. So Global Entrepreneurship Week basically happens every 3rd week of November. Okay? So be part of it if you can. Don't wait for us to tell you what to do. You can create an event. And so it's going to be 14th to 20th of November. Create an event or join an event and be part of this movement. I'm going to play another video that's going to explain what global entrepreneurship is about.
I'm Jonathan Ortmans, and I'm with Global Entrepreneurship Week. Global Entrepreneurship Week is challenging to understand in some respects because it's 35,000 events happening at the same time in 125 different countries. Global Entrepreneurship Week offers you the opportunity to come and test your aptitude, join a networking event, come and meet a mentor, come and experience a boot camp, come and experience some other element of the startup community in your city, in your town, and learn about whether or not at some point in your life you may have the interest and the skill to be able to join a startup. And I think this has been effective in allowing people to feel that they're not only driving more of their fellow citizens to consider the path of entrepreneurship in their own countries, but they're learning and participating with people from other nations. It's really in the hearts and the minds of the individuals in each of these countries. There's a way that now we think entrepreneurs might be the force for change in their countries for things beyond just economic change, that they can actually make the world a better place. The field of entrepreneurship is no longer something of narrow commercial significance. It's something of more cultural consequence. It's something that represents the possibility of human endeavor for the benefit of all. The globalization of startup communities actually gives the world a much better chance at solving some of the intractable challenges of the decades past. So in a sense, we see more citizens trying their hand at helping the world innovate its way out of its challenges. The world needs more entrepreneurs. It's a question of inspiring more people to recognize that it's more important to the future of their societies than they previously recognized. Global Entrepreneurship Week is an idea bigger than all of the communities that make it up, and it represents something that we can all aspire to, which is to be part of one global community of people ferreting out better ways of doing things and improving the lives of our citizens.
So thank you. So now you see how the logo came about. It's the different colors of the flag all joined together. That's the compass, they call it, for global entrepreneurship. Okay, Jonathan said, entrepreneurs might be the force of change in their country beyond economic change that can actually make the world a better place. So we're looking about how the world needs more entrepreneurs. It's a question of inspiring more people to recognize that's more important to the future of societies than they previously recognized. What does that mean? It means that we always thought of entrepreneurs or businessmen and businessmen, or politicians and politicians, religious people as religious people, and so on. But now they're starting to recognize that entrepreneurs actually play a much, much larger role than just doing business. They're connecting communities. And I'll talk about that as we go on. Now, we're talking about support. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I'd like to give you an idea. Under the GEN network, we have the Global Business Angel Network. We basically work with all the angel investors, and we get them together and find better ways of how we can improve, the angel community. We have a startup experience, which basically is a startup transformational workshop to give people an idea, especially students, about how it's like to start a business and to fail in the business and then to try again. And then we have the Global Entrepreneurship Registration, which is basically a way of helping founders how to register a company and how do you go about the process. And then we have Entrepreneurship Library. We support them with research and so on. And then we have competitions. We have Startup Open competition. Everyone can, if you go to startupopen.com, if you have an idea, it's free by the way, you go in, register your idea, and if you win, the top 50 ideas will be promoted around the world. And the first #1 winner will get all expense paid ticket to the Congress, and you get to meet you get to meet top people and entrepreneurs around the world. And if they like your idea, they may even invest in the idea. We have the Gen Startup Club. It's a community made up of talented founders and promising startups. The whole idea about this is to get people together. When you all have the same ideas or same objective to want to start something, and you get together, you generate more ideas. And then we have Startup Compete, which is a platform with loads of competition. Now, in Thailand, for example, we have selected startups in Thailand. We have sent them to Japan, USA, Mexico, Copenhagen, all around the world. We are trying to get the best startup from Thailand to send to international competition, to give them an exposure to what's going on in startups around the world. Okay? So do find out more about this. What I'm going to do is to play 2 short videos about the Creative Business Cup competition and the Future Agro Challenge to give you an idea about the international competitions that's coming up or that's happening every year.
It's great, it's awesome. It's just been really, really amazing.
An experience I will never forget.
This also creates value.
The Creative Business Cup is helping the creative people become entrepreneurs.
Creative Business Cup has 3 goals. We help startups develop their business. We help investors find great investment opportunities in the creative industries. And lastly, we help corporations become more innovative.
To get their pioneers and entrepreneurs up and running.
Being a creative business is very hard for anyone to listen to your story. So this is an excellent moment for me, and I'm very excited and very pleased and grateful to be here.
An entity like Creative Business Cup is a great way to promote that kind of...
This is a window to not only the world of tomorrow, but a window to a better world. I feel very humble being here.
I want to continue to tell them to keep doing what they're doing and don't second guess yourself and keep pushing because the world needs more people like you.
Thank you. Okay, there's another one called Future Agro Challenge.
Where do agro-innovations flourish and interact globally? Every nation and region are facing different challenges around food security. Individuals and visionaries often feel overwhelmed by the complexities to integrate in the agricultural ecosystem. Discovering solutions to global challenges should not be so complicated. Future Agro Challenge is a field of interactions between international agro-innovators and investors that address the future of healthy food, from the farmer to the consumer, and furthers the agricultural revolution. Future Agro Challenge supports startups, farmers, manufacturers, and distributors from countries across several continents in a global dialogue. The most promising ideas and ventures are selected to compete in the global championships. Future Agro Challenge originated in Athens, Greece, the crossing of 3 continents, rich in diversity in both wild and cultivated plant species, the source of the famous Mediterranean diet. www.futureagrochallenge.com. The Future Agro Challenge turns your idea into a global solution, a global network of impact makers, a podium for potential partners and clients, a channel to make your idea newsworthy, a platform to meet investors and attract funds, opening new markets, creating new synergies. One individual cannot solve a global challenge, but a community of visionaries and game changers together can. Be an impact maker. Join now, Future Agro Challenge, powered by industry disruptors, game changers.
So this competition is not just finding winners, because it's an opportunity for people to go there and then they actually get investors, they get an opportunity to meet other people from around the world. They have a better perspective to expand their business market as well. Okay, I will just very quickly go to the next one is on understanding. This is on research. And then we do connect. We have a lot of congress and summits around the world. And this is a website for genglobal.org. Do have a look at that when you have the time. Now I'm going to go and ask you to consider, why is there so much emphasis on entrepreneurship? I want to move it to the next level. So you understand, why am I talking about all this? Why is there such a big movement? Okay. Now, if you look at the, the Euromonitor International, if you look at the world in 2030, you see that we'll have 8.4 billion people. 45% of the world's population is going to be living in this part of the world, okay, in 2030, and the average population's age is going to be 34, a very young age population. And you have many other things from the chart you can see, 60% live in urban areas and so on. This is just to give you a perspective of what to expect. Now, of course, ASEAN, we're going to be a big market here, so there's a lot of potential for us living in this part of the world. Let's just consider some of the challenges that we're facing now. The first one, I want to talk about education challenges. Most education systems were set up to prepare students for jobs in corporation. They are trained to be lawyers. They're trained to be accountants. They're trained to be something. They're trained to fit in a box. The problem is that it doesn't give much room for being creative, innovative. Just like the teacher thinks in square, so all the students must think in square. It is good when you want to pass information, but it's very difficult when you want to pass creativity. You want more creativity and so on. So the problem is there aren't enough jobs in the world. There are more population now. So entrepreneurship is the only solution that can help solve the problem. Apart from education challenges, we have political challenges. We're seeing increasing political divides. We've seen it here in Thailand. We've seen all around the world. We've seen in the USA, the democratic capital of the world and so on. Okay? So political challenges is something we are seeing. We don't know how it's going to work out, but that's the situation. And we talk about economic growth. Now we talk about, you measure the success of a company by the GDP. But GDP, as President Kennedy say, is measure everything in short except which makes life worthwhile. In other words, it measures how much money you make, but it doesn't means you're happier, you're healthier, or whatever. More people are richer now, they have more money than before, but they're not healthier, they're not richer, they're not healthier, they're not happier. There are whole other problems that's come out. So we all know about that. I won't emphasize on it, but let's consider also the next thing. Having the world population and country working towards developed nation status by increasing GDP as a means to improve standard of living with increased consumerism by Western standard is unrealistic. In other words, the world has one measure. Your GDP has to go up. You have to make more money, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? But but you cannot use one system for the whole world. Different culture live differently. Different culture enjoy life differently. There are different things that make different people happy. This is not measured by the GDP. Now, living standard in colonial past, I want to bring this up first as an idea. You see, a lot of the living standard is based on the colonial past, whereby one part of the world, take over a country or another part of the world, get the resources, and they are able to live a very high standard of living by taking resources from all over the world. You understand what I mean? Okay? So if we were to measure our living standard by Western standard, if everyone on the world consume as much as an average European, we need 3 Earths to supply the timber, material, the oil, and everything. If everyone on this world lived like an average American, we need 5 planets. Do we have 5 planets? Or 3? No, we only got 1. Okay? So measurement of living standard and GDP is only a measurement that does not address life's issue. It addresses only monetary issues. Okay? Is there an alternative? I don't know, but in Bhutan, the government has a gross national happiness measurement. They don't focus on GDP growth. They focus on the happiness of the people. So is this a solution? Possibly. Each country has to find their own. But consider this. Beyond just making more money, what are the other things that are important? Now, there's a mayor of Bogota. We measure wealth by, if I'm rich, I have more cars, more home, and so on. But it was a mayor of Bogota who said this, a developed country is not a place where poor people drive cars, but where rich people ride public transportation. Look at the big cities around the world, Bangkok, Jakarta, and so on. Of course, it's good for, Gojek and Grab Bike and all those whatever. It's good business for the startup. But when you go to European countries, where they're more developed and so on, even in New York City, they take public transport. Okay? So I just want to share this perspective. We have to look at things differently. Because at the end of the day, what we really want is economic growth and happiness. Okay? We are starting to see some changes. Okay? Entrepreneurs are creating innovative solutions. We see Facebook. Facebook is connecting people. And actually, what does Facebook actually do for each of us? Okay? It connects us. Someone told me once, Facebook solved loneliness problem. And I thought about it. Hey, that's true, because sometimes you're lonely, you look at the Facebook, suddenly, you have the whole world on your screen. What does it solve for you? I don't know, each one you have. Now, there was a time before maybe some of you were born, to fly is so expensive. Not everyone can fly. Then Asia came in and broke the norm. So now everyone can fly. Okay? And then there was iPhone. We've seen how iPhone changed the whole perspective. Okay? Now, this one interesting thing, also, if you look at iPhone and the development of Samsung and so on, when you talk about iPhone, who do you think of? Steve Jobs, isn't it? Okay? But when you think of Samsung, who do you think of? Any name, any face? It's just a corporation. Okay? So the entrepreneurs are the entrepreneurs that start something that you identify has become a leader. They become an icon to you now. So we have Uber, we have Grab Taxi, we have Waze. And we're also seeing a lot of social entrepreneurship on the rise. And this is what's happening around the world. And that's good, because people are becoming more conscious. They're not only thinking of entrepreneurship about being businessmen and making more money. They're starting to think of how entrepreneurship is solving problems. Okay? But how does this help global entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the key for stability in the economy and countries. They can create more peace. I tell you why. Entrepreneurs is the only group of people that can cross border and make things work. For many ages, entrepreneur, if I start a business here, I can go to anywhere around the world, start a business, build connections and so on. Nobody stops us, and we work with the community. Because they are like-minded, they're inclusive, they work with the community. If you think about it, if you see the three pictures there, we have military leaders cannot cross border because when they cross border is war. Political leaders cannot cross border. So they talk politicians, they talk policy, but you know, religious leaders cannot cross borders because if I come over, you have to believe what I tell you, and that doesn't work, okay? So it's just the wording got messed up. But anyway, so we can see the main factors here, the religious, the military leaders and political leaders have limits to what they can do. But entrepreneurs do not have limits. So you see the importance of an entrepreneur? You see how Jack Ma is changing the world, Facebook is changing the world, you know, Steve Jobs is changing the world. They become leaders. Entrepreneurs are now the leaders and the role models for us. Each one of you have the opportunity to develop yourself to this stage, and you will be leaders, and you will be able to make an impact in your community. Now, I'm just going to play the last video before I stop.
Entrepreneurship is about solving problems, about addressing the issues of the world around yourself. It's not just making money. That's what I meant by entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is something that we carry with us as a human being. We came in this planet to solve problems. We saw problems all around us, and we continued to solve that problem, and that's how we survived. We were in adverse circumstances when we came to this planet, but we were not frightened by that adverse circumstances. We took them by grip, and one by one we tried to solve them, and we kept on solving them. As a result, we came millions of years on this planet and survived and successful. So that's entrepreneurship. Any human capability used for solving problem for mankind, for the planet, I would consider this an entrepreneurship.
So each one of you have the opportunity to be entrepreneurial. You have ability to take on this mindset, and you have the chance to make a difference in your community. So grooming of the entrepreneurship culture is about opening your mind to what you just can see in front of you. It's about reaching out to being inclusive and solving problems for the community. So I thank you for listening to my presentation, and if there's any questions from the audience. No questions? Anyone wants to be an entrepreneur? Anyone want to do a startup? I got little gifts for those who wants to be. Those who want to be an entrepreneur get a pin, like the one I'm having now. Anyone? Any entrepreneur want to come collect it? Come on, come get it. Most welcome. Well, I got 3 more. ไม่ต้องอายครับมาที่นี่ครับ Don't be shy. Come. I only got 3. You know, the first one first serve.
ใครอยากเป็นผู้ประกอบการยกมือขึ้นแล้วออกมาเลยค่ะ
The first.
This is also about we call the new gen, the young generations of the entrepreneur and startup.
I'm sorry, หมดแล้วครับขอโทษครับ Okay, thank you very much.
ขอเสียงปรบมือให้กับคุณ Steve Cheah ค่ะ Thank you very much to you, Steve, because every single words you're giving with us today inspires a lot. Thank you very much. It's of a great honor because we're here with the presidents of Global Entrepreneurship Thailand.